Hey, what's going on? Dylan Tooby from the Soccer Essentials. I've had a couple people asking about proper nutrition and if I could do a video on nutrition for a soccer player. So nutrition for a soccer player is much like nutrition for any other athlete. Okay? An athlete needs to fuel his body properly, his or her body properly, because if he doesn't, then he's not going to be able to perform to their best potential. So if you want to perform to your best potential, you need to fuel your body with the right foods, and you need to do it on a consistent basis. Okay? If you're just doing it the day before your game, it's not going to help. This is a lifestyle. Okay? If you currently eat poorly, you may not even know that you eat poorly. But if you find out after this video that you eat poorly, that is something you need to work to change. Nutrition is one of the most overlooked aspects of a soccer player's training. And like I said, if you want to play to your best potential, it's going to be one of the most important. So I just really wanted to keep it nice and simple, but give you a couple ideas that you can start applying to your life right away. So basically, you're going to get your food from I'm going to break it down into 3 different sources. So the first one is whole grain carbohydrates. So what I mean by whole grain is anything, basically, if it's brown, it's good. Okay? If it's white, you don't want to eat it. So white pastas, white breads, white rice, even lots of cereals are made with white flour. And what white wheat flour is made of sugar. So when it actually comes into your body through a process called glucosis, that sugar turns into fat and it builds up as fat cells all over your body. So the opposite is whole grain wheat or whole wheat. Brown, anything brown, brown bread, brown rice, brown pasta, whole wheat pasta. If you see whole wheat, that's a good thing, okay? You want to be careful about words like enriched or processed or browned, okay? If it's not brown or whole wheat, you don't want to eat it. So whole grain carbohydrates is your first one. Now this is the most important as far as getting your energy, okay? Because as soccer players, we burn a lot of energy, especially if you're training a couple times a day or even probably every day of your life, to be honest. You should always take 1 day of rest a week, I would say, just to let your body recover, but you need these carbs to keep you going. The other thing is extremely important and totally overlooked and neglected: fruits and especially vegetables. Okay, vegetables have so many nutrients for your body. If you go out and you buy processed foods, the amount of nutrients to calories, okay? So that means you can only eat so much before you feel full, but you're not going to get any nutrients, okay? With vegetables, they have very few calories, but have so many nutrients, so they're providing your body with tons of good stuff, and you can keep eating more and more and more and more and more because there's so few calories. So you may feel full, but you won't be exceeding your caloric intake, so you're not going to become fat, but you're also getting those most important things as the nutrients. Okay, and on top of that, fruits and vegetables, they help fight against disease and illnesses. So if you're always eating your greens and your fruits, you're not likely to be sick very often. Your immune system's going to be very strong. You're going to be full of lots of energy. Your body's just going to be circulating and working the way it should be. The other thing is lean proteins, okay? So you want to be careful with your protein consumption. You don't want to eat too much animal products. So you don't want to be eating a steak every night or even a chicken breast every night, okay? It's all about variety, and it's all about getting it from different sources. So when you think of protein right away, you think chicken, turkey, red meat, pork, beef, whatever, right? But there's also lots of other alternative sources that you want to tap into and really get a good source of protein from, because there's lots out there. Beans, legumes like lentils, chickpeas, black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, so many different types of beans, so good for you. Lots of energy and lots of protein. A slow carb release in those as well. Nuts. Okay, you don't want to overdo on the nuts, but anything, a handful, good moderation is good to go. So many different types of nuts, and they have lots of protein, but they also have lots of nutrients and phytochemicals that help your body grow and just remain healthy at all times. If you are looking for a protein source, especially if you're working out and you're looking to get a bit bigger, a protein shake is a great way to go. You just need a basic whey protein. You don't want to get into the fancy supplements, because most of those things have lots of chemicals that you don't even know, and I don't even know what they are. But they work against your body, make your heart work a little quicker than it probably should, and it's not the most healthy alternative. So we want to stay natural, and we want to stay, you know, on that good stuff. God made, I'm not even really a religious guy, but I mean, the earth is full of plants, fruits, and vegetables. People lived for thousands of years on strictly vegetables. Okay, so you can do the same. I don't want to discourage you from eating animal proteins, but I'm just saying in moderation. Okay, so here are your three sources. Honestly, as far as you're thinking of other things like dairy products, you probably want to limit those and just use them as complements to your dishes. What dairy does is got a lot of lactose in it, so it actually can build up and help, and it makes your muscles cramp if you're consuming way too much of it. You also want to be careful about your sodium intake, so if you're putting lots of salt on your stuff. But the easiest thing to reduce salt, and just to be a lot healthier in general, is reduce processed or packaged foods. So anything, obviously fast food, but even anything that comes in a box or a can, like a pre-made meal, usually has a lot of saturated fats and sodium. So if you're making your own meals from natural food products, fresh products, you're going to be a lot better off. Okay, just one more thing. Where did my rag go? So you have your food groups here. Obviously, big thing is water. You should be, as a soccer player, especially if you're training every day, should be consuming a minimum of 4 liters. And honestly, I would even up that on days where you exercise more. But minimum 4 liters. So that's what? 1, 2... My math's so bad. That's about 6 to 8 of those. Okay, and it may seem like a lot, but if you just keep a bottle with you at all times, have little sips throughout the day, you're going to be fine. So I just wanted to make it a little simpler for you, and I'm going to draw a circle. It's not really a good circle, but... So your plate should be broken in, based on those 3 sources that I gave you, broken into those 3 areas. So the biggest part of your plate should be those fruits and vegetables, and mainly vegetables. Okay, fruits are good, but you don't want to overdo it, especially before a game, just because of lots of citric acid. You don't want that bouncing around in your stomach. But fruits are great. You can have 4 or 5 fruits throughout the day. Vegetables, eat them out of control. If you're going to overdose on anything, vegetables are the way to go. It's going to keep you healthy. It's going to keep you full of energy, like I said, fresh and ready to work. Okay, so half of your plate should be fruits and vegetables. 1/4 of it should be those whole grain carbohydrates, like I talked about, and 1/4 of it can be your lean proteins. Okay, so that makes it really simple. If you follow this rule for each one of your meals throughout the day, you're going to be a lot better off, especially if you were previously eating those, like I said, those processed meals and packaged foods. Okay, so that's all I got for you today. you want to be eating depending on how active you are. Obviously, if you're more active, you're going to eat more throughout the day. But this is just a general rule of thumb to go. But I would aim for about 4 or 5 meals a day spread throughout the day. Every 3 hours you want to aim for. Okay, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for checking out the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, check it out. Over 140 soccer training videos, and I'm coming with more every day. So stay tuned, check it out, keep training, keep learning, keep improving, and we'll see you next time. Take it easy.